We have not seen him since early December. And then, of course, Issa Ahmad and Wesley Harris dismissed from the team a couple of weeks ago. The Mountaineers control the opening tip. Look at the starting lineups for West Virginia. Tim, this is the 17th different starting lineup Bob Huggins has used this season.
Well, you asked us earlier off the air, what's the most we ever had when we were coaching? I don't even remember, because that number is beyond crazy, because Bob Huggins really has been struck with bad luck after bad luck with the injuries and all the situations that they've had all season long. But he continues to scratch and claw. Talking to him before the game, he likes some of the things his team is doing in the K-State game on Monday night. They just broke down defensively in the last 8 minutes of the game.
And Jared Butler in the starting lineup for Baylor, coming off a nice game against Iowa State. He's been much better since moving into the starting lineup. Mario Kegler had a career night when these two played in Morgantown. On that first West Virginia possession, Derek Culver, the star freshman, picked up an early foul as Mark Vital going strong to the rim. This is a smaller Baylor lineup, yet they're so good on the glass.
18 offensive rebounds against Iowa State on Tuesday night, and both teams start in a zone. Baylor's played a lot of zone as of late, as has West Virginia, because of their lack of numbers.
Jermaine Haley, 6'7" point guard, number 10 in blue, out of Vancouver. Now Emmett Matthews inside to Culver, who's making a play for Big 12 Freshman of the Year, and that's despite missing the first 10 games due to a suspension. He's averaging almost 10 rebounds a game in conference. Last 5 games, 12.5 points, 12.5 rebounds.
Very skilled, a willing passer as well. Has faced a lot of double teams as of late.
And Baylor turns it over. Mountaineers have lost 4 in a row, 7 of 8. Just 2-11 in conference play, winless on the road. They've struggled to shoot from 3. They've turned it over. It's been a hard season for West Virginia, and the big reason is the guys they thought they could count on either are injured or not on the team. Shot blocked by Vital. Culver gets it back, and that's something else the freshman does really well, get to the free throw line.
Oh, good idea by Culver and West Virginia. Go right at Freddie Gillespie early, because Freddie Gillespie has been somewhat of a juggernaut as of late. The double-double against Iowa State, former walk-on, just really rising up. And as Scott Drew told us yesterday, just a guy that gets in the gym and has worked and worked and worked to where he is today at Baylor.
Gillespie came to Baylor as a walk-on transfer from Division III Carleton College in Northfield, Minnesota.
There's players everywhere, Anish. And players that improve, and that's what Gillespie does. Is he's a guy they threw the ball to earlier in the season, but he's a guy they can trust now around the basket. Good footwork and the ability to finish.
Vital nearly turned it over. Mason from the corner. That doesn't go. He's 7 for his last 40. And a foul on Baylor.
Well, the thing about Makai Mason through this injury to his toe is that he's missed some games, he's played in some games, but one thing he hasn't done is he hasn't been competitive in practice as far as playing live scrimmaging or live competition. And he's going through the shooting drills, but it's not the same as going up and down and facing defense. So you can see his timing's a little off.
2 early fouls now on Gillespie. Haley, not an outside shooter, over to McCabe. And here's Lamont West. McCabe looking for help. And they're going to get a reach in on Flo Thamba.
It looked like Thamba just was playing good wraparound defense, and Rick Crawford caught him maybe a little bit with the body from behind.
Officials today, Paul Jansen, Rick Crawford, Lee Cassell.
If Thamba gets in foul trouble, Baylor is not afraid to go small playing this zone, especially with Kegler and Vital playing bigger than their size.
And that's already the 4th team foul against Baylor.
Baylor plays this zone, Anish, but they are one thing. They are very physical in the zone. It's not a soft, passive zone. They get up and pressure the basketball. They'll take away passing lanes. They've got their hands up, and they're small, so they've got to play a little bit more of a physical game in the lane.
We've seen at times, Tim, you mentioned the size of Baylor. Kegler at 6'7", the tallest player on the floor. He essentially is their four-man, 6'5" Mark Vital will play in the middle. And there's Vital with the rebound.
Well, with Tristan Clark's injury earlier, everyone kind of wrote Baylor off, but then they went small. They spaced the court. They really rebound the ball for an undersized team, and once they start making threes, they're tough to beat.
Bit of a sloppy start for both teams. Baylor with the 14 fouls. West Virginia 1 of 4 from the field. Mason looking for Vital. It's taken away, and Matthews the finish at the other end, the freshman from Tacoma, Washington.
That's your biggest fear as a coach. You come in, you know a team's 10 and 16. You know they're struggling. Only have 8 players, injuries, everything else, as you pointed out, and to take them seriously and come out of the gate ready to play.
Haley called for the foul on Mason.
Got the tight whistle early, and see here, just kind of a sloppy pass over the top. Nobody cutting to get open, just kind of throw to the back guy, and West Virginia, good recognition.
Makai Mason transferred it to Baylor from Yale 3 years ago in the NCAA tournament. Had 31 for Yale, and a colossal first-round upset of Baylor. And Mason can't get the bounce. Haley on the deflection. Into the corner, West. And that's good, and West Virginia off to a 9-2 start on the road.
Well, that is Lamont West's game. He likes that left corner, and if Bob Huggins can get him to not try to force things, put the ball on the deck, he can become an effective player. And West Virginia, some early energy.
And an early timeout by Scott Drew. Big win Tuesday at Iowa State, a resume-boosting win, but you have to follow that up. This is a game for Baylor. If you win, there's not much to gain. If you lose, all of a sudden, you've negated a lot of goodwill with the selection committee from Tuesday.
There's no doubt about that. And the Iowa State game was kind of a freebie on the road, and they went and stole it. And I'll tell you, they come out flat early, but right to the man in the corner, Bandu.
Devontae Bandu shooting 45% from 3 in league games.
One thing I've always liked, Anish, about Scott Drew's coaching is that he is not afraid to pull the plug and push the buttons early as far as timeouts and subs. He doesn't wait it out. He stops, runs very quickly with his timeouts.
Culver turns it over. Mason gets the screen from Thamba. Here's Butler. 17 on Tuesday to go along with 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 threes. Freshman out of Reserve, Louisiana. Same hometown of Rico Gathers and Tweety Carter. Bandu again.
Bob Huggins really irate with his defense, not playing that pick and roll properly at the top and giving too much help off the man in the corner.
How should they have played it?
Well, they should probably got to show or do some switching out there. I would imagine Bob's going to go back to the zone. They really slowed Baylor down. You take away their pick and roll game when you play them zone.
Culver calling for it. Goes to work against Thamba. Contested shot, offensive rebound, Culver. Loose ball. And it's Culver who comes away with it. Culver fouled by Thamba, and that's 2 on Flo Thamba. So both Baylor bigs with 2 fouls early.
Well, that's a freshman foul by Thamba because Culver was out of control. He was kind of falling, not defensively. Konate was a game changer in the lane that really allowed them to play their press Virginia style, which they're not playing anymore because they don't have the shot blockers or the depth in the back of the defense.
Talking to assistant coach Eric Martin before the game, he said they probably underestimated the loss of Javon Carter, who not only was the tone setter defensively and the head of that monster for Press Virginia, but the leadership and setting the example on how to play defense for the other guys.
Well, and you've just got to, it's hard to play with young guards in this league. And you see it with Baylor. When Mason is out, they're a totally different team. And Butler's a good player, Bandu's a good player, but they're young and they're not ready to do it by themselves. But with Mason out there, it gives them more confidence.
Butler with a nice move in traffic. Thamba on the floor, playing with the 2 fouls. McCabe, and a whistle away from the ball. And that is going to be number 3 on Flo Thamba.
Goodness.
One more foul in West Virginia in the bonus.
Somebody put something in their water, these officials this morning. They came out here ready to blow their whistles early and often. I mean, that's one of those fouls, though. It's just 2 big guys bump bodies in the lane away from the ball. Just tell them to clean it up. You don't have to blow your whistle every time 2 guys bang their bodies. Or else we'll be here all night long. We'll miss the Baylor baseball game later.
That's right. 6 to shoot. McCabe. West a long 3. The rebound vital. These are 2 of the best rebounding teams in the Big 12. Mason turns it over.
Mason just tried to make a quick move. There was really nothing there, and excellent defense by Jordan McCabe, just cutting off the lane.
Chase Harler getting ready to check in at the scorer's table for the Mountaineers. McCabe, the freshman out of Wisconsin. West Virginia down to 8 scholarship players today. 4 are freshmen. Haley. It's really not his shot, just 4 of 25 from 3. McCabe launches and connects.
That's a great job, though, by Derek Culver. Just positioned himself inside for the offensive rebound and found McCabe, pitched it right back out to the open man in the corner.
Culver averages 3.5 offensive rebounds per game in conference play. Butler gets some separation over Culver.
And again, Baylor spacing the court. They've got the smaller lineup in there, and West Virginia struggling to guard that high screen.
There's West against Kegler, off balance, and gets the roll.
That was good defense by Kegler. Just made him put it on the deck. High degree of difficulty. That's usually not West's game. Nice move around the rim.
West has 5. They had 4 in the first meeting against Baylor. Mason trying to get free. Kai Mason is bumped by Jermaine Haley. Second foul on Haley. Mason to the line with a chance to tie the game. Chasing Kansas State, and a couple of big games coming up for Bill Self's team in Lubbock today, and then Monday, the Sunflower Showdown against K-State.
Well, they're fired up in Lubbock. Not only at the Carrier Dome are they excited, but I think it's a tough ticket in Lubbock. And listen, Texas Tech all season long, rock solid defense. Jared Culver having an All-American type season, but as of late, playing better offensively because they're really shooting the ball much better. Davide Moretti and Matt Mooney are starting to really gel together in the backcourt, knocking down shots. And when they shoot the ball from the perimeter, along with Culver, that opens up a lot of avenues for Texas Tech offensively, and we know how good they are defensively.
We were talking earlier off the air about Coach of the Year. Bruce Weber right now is the favorite, and if Kansas State wins the league, you would think Weber's got a strong case. Scott Drew certainly has a case. But what if Kansas, with all they've had to go through, somehow wins this for a 15th straight year? Well, do you give it to Bill Self?
You can't give Bill Self the Coach of the Year award because it's named after him. We named it after him a few years ago, the Bill Self Coach of the Year award. So I think the other coaches would appreciate that. But listen, Chris Beard, they lost a ton of bodies from last year's Elite Eight team, and K-State returned everybody. Pretty much everybody thought K-State was going to be there this year. Texas Tech, I'm not sure. So I would put Chris Beard in the mix as well.
Logan Rout, the junior walk-on, inside for 2.
Well, right now, West Virginia doing a good job of taking advantage of Baylor's lack of size. And when they go small like this, they ditch the zone. They play man-to-man. They try to get pesky with their defense. And right now, West Virginia doing a good job.
Matthew Meyer turned away. Here comes McCabe. Mountaineers have 2 walk-ons on the floor. Tavon Horton and Chase Harler, and McCabe, the freshman, called for a travel.
Logan Rout is a big guy who runs the floor. They'll post him up, and you see he's got a lot of size on Kegler. Kegler just kind of plays some sloppy defense. He's just got to hold his ground in there. He tries to swipe the ball, and Rout takes advantage.
On the floor for Baylor, Mason, Bandu, Butler, Kegler, and the freshman from Austin, Meyer. Kegler, the Mississippi State transfer, with the crossover, lost it, and is fouled on the way up. First foul on Rout, 4th team foul on West Virginia, and they have not been shy, as you said, about blowing the whistle early.
Well, Rout's got to give Kegler a little bit more room on the outside there. He chased him all the way to the three-point line. He does not have the foot quickness to guard him off the bounce.
Kegler got off to a bit of a slow start this year, especially shooting the ball. 3 of his first 28 from 3. Been much better since, and the game that really got him going was the game in Morgantown. 18 points, a career high against West Virginia.
Well, they thought big things of him coming in from the transfer year at Mississippi State, but he's had to adjust his role a little bit. It's more guard heavy here, and the offense, since Park has been out, has been built around Mason.
Arler tracks it down. Haley. Offensive rebound, Rout, and he's there for the putback. Tim, at the start of the season, do you think Bob Huggins envisioned this lineup on the floor in a conference game?
Oh, my. I don't think he would have got to the first game thinking of that, but he's done a good job of trying to weather the storm, and he's not used to this. There's no doubt about it. Everybody knows he's a Hall of Fame coach, but they still continue to fight.
Kegler on the putback. Baylor in league play rebounds 40% of its misses.
That's what you have to do when you're built this way. You're small, you're guard heavy, you've got to be pesky.
Rout wanted the foul, then got tied up, and they'll call the foul on Kegler. West Virginia in the bonus.
Well, Baylor's got themselves in some foul trouble, and we kind of kidded about the refs calling it tight, but they're doing a lot of reaching, a lot of gambling, a lot of slapping at the basketball instead of just playing solid with their feet.
So as a coach, in the first 10 minutes of the game, you've seen how the officials are going to call it. What's your message to the team? How do you deliver that message?
You've got to back off a little bit. I mean, you want to still be aggressive. You can't lose your identity on defense, and that's the way Baylor plays. They're going to be aggressive. They do foul a lot, but you can't be sloppy. You can't be careless. You can't be reaching in like that. You have to use your fouls properly.
Logan Rout, Jr. from Cameron, West Virginia. Sub 50% from the free throw line. Now at 50% with that made free throw, 13 out of 26. Kegler over to Butler. Dangerous pass. Butler leans in. Gets the offensive rebound and the nice feed for Bandu, who's got 8.
Butler is such a good-looking player. Just cool out there. Missed his shot. Got the rebound and had his head up all the way.
Offensive foul on West.
Jared Butler has been a real surprise for Baylor this year, stepping up, making big plays against Iowa State down the stretch, and that one unselfish.
Last 5 games, Butler averaging 14 a game. Season average just a little north of 9. young man who originally signed and enrolled with Alabama. We get another foul down low. It's going to be on Tavon Horton, the walk-on.
Both teams doing a good job in their man-to-man defense. West Virginia communicating, and Huggins said, we were right there with K-State on Monday night, but we just made too many defensive errors down the stretch. And look at Horton on the floor.
A jump ball, possession arrow to Baylor.
That's what you have to do, Anish. When you're the walk-on, you got to do the dirty work. And look at Horton. Head first in, wins.
Because of the depth issues defensively, West Virginia has taken massive strides in reverse this year. Helps, obviously, to have Javon Carter and Daxter Miles at the top of your defense, and missing Sad Kanate at the back end is a huge loss as well.
Kanate broke the school record for blocks against Pittsburgh and hasn't been seen since, so it's really a crushing blow to your program when that happens.
An and one opportunity for Jermaine Haley.
This is what Haley does. He doesn't shoot the ball, so you shouldn't pressure him on the outside, but he's got that good ability, that long look around the rim with those long arms. Good job finishing in traffic.
Haley, well-traveled, began his career at New Mexico State, then played junior college ball in West Texas at Odessa College before coming to West Virginia. Dad played in the NFL with Miami and Washington. Grandfather was a high jumper for the U.S. national team.
Culver's back in the game. Logan Rout gave Bob Huggins some real solid minutes in his stint inside.
Bandu 8 in the first half.
Good job defensively. McCabe staying in a stance.
Vital down low and puts it through past Culver.
They stayed with that high screen and roll. And Bandu, nice delivery.
Culver size advantage on Vital. Spinning inside, wild shot, Meyer the rebound. Ahead to Kegler. And he is fouled at the rim. West Virginia shorthanded and scrappy with a 2-point lead on the road. Issa Ahmad and Wesley Harris played the most minutes in that game. Those two were dismissed from the team a few weeks ago.
Well, and it can't be forgotten either, that was 2 days after West Virginia upset Kansas in Morgantown, and that's what made Bob Huggins really upset after that Baylor game, because he thought they were like moving in the right direction. A huge step beating Kansas at home. Let's build on that, and then they go in and lose to Baylor. And then I think people woke up about Baylor that night, understanding that, listen, this team can be reckoned with. That we're kind of changing their identity from an inside player with Clark, inside presence with Clark. Offensively, now they're more guard-oriented with Mason on the perimeter.
Before we went to break, it was Culver who picked up his second foul for West Virginia. And that was deflected out by Haley, so no Culver in the game for the Mountaineers. For Baylor, Freddie Gillespie's got 2 fouls, Flo Thamba with 3. So the small lineup for the Bears. Kegler at 6'7", the tallest player on the floor, and the 6'5" Vital manning the 5 spot. It's been a lineup that's been effective for Scott Drew. Vital ran into a roadblock, but bailed out by the foul. Looks to be on route, and that should be his second.
It's kind of a car crash at the rim here, and Vital was out of control, and I'm sure where the foul was. Route was backing up, but sometimes when the whistles are in the air, it just becomes contagious. 16 fouls so far in this game.
Now they called the foul on West. It's his second. Surprised Vital didn't try to dunk that. He is a YouTube dunking sensation. Watch some of his clips. There's one of him in a dunk contest going over 4 guys. Andrew Gordon into the game for West Virginia. Vital gets the bounce, 23-23, 7 minutes to go in this opening half. Baylor a projected 8 seed by Joe Lunardi entering the day. Haley uncontested.
Well, there's Mason out on the perimeter, just getting up right underneath Haley's numbers, and Haley wants to do that. They cleared out the side for him, and he just drove to the rim. You've got to back off him because he will not shoot the three.
Meyer kicks to Kegler. Traveled. According to Joey Brackett's, 8 of the 10 teams in the Big 12 in his projected field 3 weeks in a day from Selection Sunday.
TCU with a big game, trying to get back on track today with Quatnoy back in the lineup against Iowa State, and clearly this league again is elite.
Gordon lost it. Loose ball to Bandu. He is bumped by McCabe.
Well, these teams have got through a season. It's just a little disjointed right now.
All right, so you coached. What's going through a head coach's mind when you're mired in one of these Murphy's Law seasons?
Well, Bob Huggins, obviously, you don't get to his status and what he's done in his career without being the ultimate competitor and fighter. And that's what he is. Knowing him, he's going to fight right to the finish line this year. Wouldn't be surprised if they pull an upset here and there. Maybe today, or maybe in the Big 12 tournament, because he'll get them to fight and claw, and he'll adjust and readjust. And then you got to go recruit. And obviously, losing Ahmad, losing Harris in the middle of the season, 2 veteran players. I mean, that's just a punch in the gut. And so you've got to retool. You've got to go out and evaluate. You've got to make sure you're bringing good kids and try to get back to where you were in the past. But it'll certainly make you appreciate the good times once you get there.
West over Kegler. And Kegler commits the foul. 3 shots for West. That's 2 on Kegler.
It's a good closeout by Kegler. It looked like West kicked his feet out a little bit into Kegler. I'm not sure where the foul was on that one.
West Virginia came into this game shooting 26% from 3 in conference games.
Well, it's the right idea because you've got to get out and contest West because he is dangerous from that spot, but do it under control, and West has that ability to draw those fouls with those long arms.
So back to our point, a season like this, it motivates you in your eyes to recruit, get back on the recruiting trail. At this juncture, you're not thinking about Turks and Caicos in a few weeks?
There's no way. There's no way you're thinking about that. And Bob Huggins is always motivated to recruit. And sometimes you have one of these years where just when it rains, it pours. And how are you going to build into your plan at the beginning of the season that your best player is going to play in December on a weekend game and come back on Monday 2 days later and haven't seen him since hit the floor. So that can't be built into your plan. But it happens, and you just got to get back to the drawing board.
West Virginia right now playing without almost half of its offensive production. Gordon over Meyer. Too strong. Rebound Vital. West Virginia played hard in the loss Monday to Kansas State. Just couldn't finish. Vital follows his miss. And he's fouled at the rim. So Vital back to the free throw line.
Vital made a great move just to get an angle to the rim there. Thought he might have got fouled on the first one, and then the next one, you just got to go straight up. Keep your hands up in the air. Andrew Gordon trying to get some minutes.
Both teams in the double bonus, and that was the 10th team foul on West Virginia. The next one on Baylor will be the Bears' 10th. When you watch Vital, Tim, what impresses you? 6'5", plays bigger for his size, and a very good interior passer.
He is. He doesn't try to do anything he can't do. He knows where his money's made, and that's right on the baseline, in the lane, around the rim, and distributing the basketball.
Mountaineers back to work against the Baylor zone. Foul down low on Bandu. So 2 shots coming for West Virginia.
Well, good job by Bob Huggins. Called that play from the bench. That's kind of their power triangle. They go for an inside triangle. They had post-ups on both blocks. One route on the left block, and then West on the right block against Bandu, and then they went right inside with that big size advantage.
When you say power triangle, what does that mean?
That basically means 2 guards on the outside, and then you have a high post at the foul line, and then you post up on both blocks. It's kind of like a 3-on-3 game. You throw the ball right to the foul line and then try to go inside to either the right or left, whoever's open.
Ten points to lead West Virginia for Lamont West. Mason still without a field goal. He's Baylor's leading scorer, 15.5 a game. Mason playing through that bruised toe. That's on route. Instead, it is on Cabe.
Bob Huggins not happy with that call. That's the problem. You get 20 fouls called in the first 15 minutes of the half. Both coaches are a little on edge.
Bob Huggins, in his long coaching career, almost a generation as a head coach, has only had 3 losing seasons. 1981 at Walsh College, 1985 at Akron, and 2013 at West Virginia. It's been a good run.
He's referred to his days at Walsh College a few times this year after some tough losses, saying we have not been this soft since the days at Walsh College. And he's just trying to instill toughness. He knows he lacks what they lack offensively and skill-wise, but he's just trying to instill that toughness to kind of play a gritty type game.
They get Rout on the foul, his second. They're not letting anything go.
I'd like to see the ball go up and down the floor just 2 or 3 times in a row without the whistle. But sometimes you have one of those games, and it's kind of an uneven game. Both teams struggling on the offensive end and a little over-aggressive defensively.
It's nice to hear the song play out before an interruption sometimes.
Gives us time to eat some of these nice cookies that are usually delivered here in Baylor.
Oh, the smell just hit me.
You have plenty of time to eat them. You got a free throw about every 30 seconds. They're at the foul line. So
ball gets batted in the air a couple of times. You're waiting for the whistle. We're going to turn into Pavlov's dog by the end of this broadcast. Well, there's another one. Offensive foul on Gordon, his second.
Well, that's one of the little things, the winning plays that Vital, look, just squares up defensively, takes it right in the chest. And Gordon, again, just no rhyme or reason to make a move like that. He's not posted up in a spot where he can go and just score. He's off the block. He's got to get better post position.
You know, Vital deserves one of these cookies because playing down in the post in this game, he has yet to pick up a foul.
He's a tough player. He is really good. He just knows how to play. He doesn't try to do things he can't do, and does the dirty work.
Loose ball. Gordon took it away. We're going to get the foul on Mason and Baylor.
A good hustle by Andrew Gordon. He was off to the races there. Wasn't sure he had much room, but they ended up fouling him anyway, and good hustle going for the loose ball.
Oh, they say the foul is on Bandu, who came over the back, his second. So Gordon to the line. Out of Clearwater, Florida, junior college transfer.
Played for one of the elite programs in junior college, the junior college ranks, Northwest Florida State. Title contender again under Coach Steve DeMayo down there outside of beautiful Destin, Florida. There's a little nugget for you.
Sounds like you've made a few recruiting trips down there.
It's always nice to go to Destin to recruit.
McCabe inside to Gordon.
Nice. Nice rim run by Gordon, and even a better pass by McCabe. Just took his time, had his head up the whole way. Great finish in traffic.
McCabe, a basketball prodigy as a kid. His story well told. He was a dribbling sensation on YouTube, performed with the Globetrotters, appeared on the Ellen Show. Mr. Basketball in the state of Wisconsin coming out of high school. Another whistle. It's an offensive foul on Jared Butler. Play in one of those matchups. That's 8:30 Eastern tonight on ABC and the ESPN app. If you like personal fouls, this has been the first half for you. 24 fouls called compared to 18 combined made field goals.
Sure, there's somebody out there that likes that. But listen, these teams got to adjust, though. They have to adjust. This is a good officiating crew, and I wouldn't say they've been over the top with their calls. It's a tight whistle, but you have to adjust. 7
points for Haley, West Virginia. Up by 6. They've led by as many as 7.
I like this move by Huggs, going to the zone, changing things up a little bit.
Vital through the contact. No foul.
Good job by Baylor, recognizing the zone, going right to the foul line. Vital moving behind the zone on the baseline.
Big first half for Vital, 9 points, 7 rebounds. West against Kegler, using the size, comes up short.
Again, they went to that power triangle on the inside. West just a little short on the post-up.
Butler was wide open in the corner. Mason never saw him.
Goes with Haley a little bit, though. At the top, with those long arms at 6'7", he presents some problems for vision of the Baylor guards.
Mason out of the ambush, over to Bandu. Catch and shoot. Offensive rebound, Kegler +1.
That's what happens, Anish, when you change sides of the floor quickly with a dribble drive penetration into the gap, skip the ball, you get the defense spread out on the move, and you can slash and dash like Kegler did that time.
Tim, offensive rebounding is part of the DNA of this Baylor program. Not just this year, they're one of the best in the country, but you go back further, obviously, when Rico Gathers was there. Scott Drew has made rebounding and crashing the offensive glass a fundamental building block of what he wants to do with Baylor.
Well, you have to have an identity, and that's their identity. In the zone, long forwards in the back, and they're not as big this year without Clark, but they're very athletic, and they've got a great nose for the basketball.
So the optics say Baylor right now, without Clark, they play the small lineup a lot. The small lineup is on the floor. How are they still such a good rebounding team in this league?
It's just quickness and going, the ability to get the ball out of your area. And there's Haley, is only 5th 3 on the season, 17%.
5 for 26 from 3 on the season.
But again, with Baylor, the rebounding is not about height. It's about the ability to go, put your nose in there, find an angle, and go get the ball out of your area.
And due to Vital. Offensive rebound. Vital hits the deck. Kegler for 3. That's another component of Baylor's offensive rebounding. It's not just putbacks, it leads to threes.
Kelvin Sampson calls it daggering. That means when you get a rebound in the paint, first move is not to force it up on the rim. Turn and look for somebody on the outside available for a 3.
McCabe over Mason. Good.
Jordan McCabe has had invaluable experience this year. He's been up and down, but he works as hard as anybody. First in the gym, last to leave, and he is getting better by the moment. West Virginia staying in that zone.
Bandu launches. Out of bounds to West Virginia. 6-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Mountaineers have led most of this first half.
Now, Bob Huggins has to be not only pleased with the score, that's obvious, but just the way his team has come in here and punched Baylor really in the gut with their toughness. And they've taken advantage of their size. They've tried to get to the free throw line. They're playing a physical game.
No Napper, no Bolden, no Kanate, no Harris, no Ahmad. West Virginia up 3. McCabe inside to Gordon. Over Vital. Haley the offensive rebound. Back to McCabe. Less than 5 seconds. 2 seconds. McCabe over Mason. And that's how the first half ends. Wasn't the most aesthetic 20 minutes. 25 fouls between the two teams. West will begin the second half on the floor with 3 fouls. No Brandon Napper today for West Virginia. He's been the starting point guard of late. Out with a neck injury, suffered in practice on Thursday, and West makes his presence felt right away. Mountaineers by 5.
Oh, Baylor just falling asleep right out of the gate. 2 passes and a wide open West in the corner.
Gillespie setting the screen for Mason. And the struggles continue for Makai Mason. Since that 40-point game against TCU, he is 7 for 42 from the field. A lot of that has to do with a bruised toe. He's battling. Culver, he picked up 2 fouls, only played 9 minutes in the first half. Offensive rebound, West Virginia. McCabe shovels to West, open for 3. Battle for the board, it's down low, results in a whistle. Foul is called on Butler, his first.
It was a good open look. McCabe did a nice job of finding West again. And McCabe and Jermaine Haley have been a steadying presence at the guard spot so far today for West Virginia.
Ball handling, guard play has been problematic this season for Bob Huggins. McCabe seeing big minutes today. And there's that handle that made him a YouTube sensation.
Oh, excellent. Right out of the gate, and West came up at the top. Got a little ball screen, and McCabe refused it, and a nice reverse pivot here, just went away from the ball screen, and nice job getting free from Butler.
He performed with the Harlem Globetrotters as a kid. His YouTube dribbling videos as a youngster, the stuff of internet legend. Vital. And 1. Mark Vital already closing in on a double-double, 11 points, shooting for 12, and he had 8 rebounds in that first half.
Oh, good job. Scott Drew, I'm sure at halftime emphasized, we've got to go inside. We can't just settle for jumpers, and Vital knows how to use angles and his body around the rim.
Matthews, who picked up the foul, will leave. Rout comes in, so West Virginia with Rout and Culver adding more size.
Adding more size. I think they have to be careful with those 2 guys defensively, trying to guard Vital and Kegler down on the baseline. But Gillespie's back in there as well. He spent most of the first half in foul trouble.
Butler picks up his second, both in this half. So they didn't ease up on the whistle after halftime.
Goodness. A foul is a foul, but a little tap on the wrist can be ignored once in a while.
Spoken like somebody who coached in the old Big East. Culver. Blocked by Gillespie. It comes to Vital. Kegler taking Culver. He isolated him on the perimeter and then used his speed.
Well, that's Kegler's game. Sometimes he floats too much on the perimeter, but you can see that great body control, and as a forward, that ability to put the ball on the deck and finish in traffic.
Culver. Mountaineers turn it over.
Kegler, he just squares up on Culver, and nice job again by Vital. That won't be in the box score, but he sets a screen on the help defender down around the basket.
Tim, Baylor is not a better team without Tristan Clark. So why have they played better seemingly without Clark?
I think they just started to get into a flow, and with Mason out on the floor, they had so many new pieces to begin this season, and sometimes it's hard to identify your roles, what type of team you want to become. And I think they were going back and forth where they're guard heavy, or we're going to go through Clark, and they finally found their niche. I think they were starting to find their niche even with Clark, and then unfortunately he got the knee injury, but everybody got healthy and everybody on the perimeter started playing better together.
Crowd loved that whistle.
If I'm coaching either of these teams, I tell my players to do this. Put your head down and just go to the rim, because you're going to get a foul call.
So
Even when there isn't one.
Before the first media timeout, has picked up 3 fouls in this half. He was one of the players that had not picked up a foul in the first 20 minutes.
And again, Jordan McCabe, he's only been to the free throw line 14 times the entire season, so that is not his game to try to dribble drive and get all the way to the rim in the half court, but good job by McCabe.
McCabe's got 8 points today. He has handled the Lions' share of the ball handling duties today with Napper out. We've seen Haley as well, who will assume that role. That's another area where West Virginia misses Beetle Bolden. He's not a typical point guard, but he can take some pressure off and handle the ball.
Oh, he's an attacker. He's a guy that can break the defense down off the bounce. He's hard-nosed. He's a good defender and a guy that can make shots.
Bandu. Now Mason. Blocked by Culver.
That was not a good decision by Makai Mason. Just drove it into the teeth of the defense, and then they don't get back after the poor shot on one end.
West Virginia matches its largest lead, 15 for Lamont West.
Makai Mason a little frustrated, has not recorded a field goal yet today. Just drove with his left hand off balance, tried to shoot it right over the shot block.
Mason's healthy. I don't think he hesitates on that. Bandu's floater. Rebounded by Haley. West Virginia pushing. Culver against Kegler. And he throws it away. A couple of turnovers by Culver. And that brings us to our first media timeout of the second half. West Virginia sniffing an upset in Waco. 42. Lamont West leads all scorers with 15. For a Baylor team coming off an impressive resume-building win at Iowa State. A loss against a West Virginia team that's 6 games under 500 essentially negates what you did during the week.
Well, there's no doubt about it. There's a lot of pressure on Baylor moving forward just to get their act together in this game. But West Virginia has been rock solid defensively. They had a really nice game plan. They're out on the shooters. They're tough on the inside. And there's Vital just throwing his body around again.
Vital, the 6'5" forward. 12 points, 11 rebounds, a double-double. Second career double-double for Vital.
Well, the magic number of wins that makes you feel comfortable in this league is probably 10. I think 9 will get you in, but you coach would prefer to have 10, get to that 10 spot where you feel like you're comfortably in the tournament. And Scott Drew's team had them laser focus yesterday in practice, but give West Virginia credit. They've had a very good game plan coming in today.
Now for Baylor, the bruised toe that Makai Mason has battled. They need him to get closer to 100%. Shot clock violation on Baylor. Mason has been, in some ways, a non-factor today. 4 free throws made, 0 for 4 from the field, that he just has not been himself when he's on. Certainly Baylor knows what he can do. They saw it when he played for Yale 3 years ago, but you saw it on Groundhog's Day against TCU.
Well, the thing about him, the difference is that he's just not, doesn't have that ability to create off the bounce. He's very good with the basketball as far as getting into the lane and then creating some space and shooting that little fadeaway shot, but he hasn't been able to create that space today because he's not moving like he normally does.
3-second violation on West Virginia. Mountaineers winless in true road games this season. Winless on the road in conference. They have used 14 different starters, 17 different starting lineups. But they do have a win against Kansas. Mason had it stolen. McCabe tied up. Jump ball, possession arrow, Baylor.
You see again, Mason just trying to dribble drive, just not comfortable. And West Virginia, again, as soon as he does drive into the lane, they're sending that second defender at him to prevent him from creating space or getting in the lane or getting all the way to the rim.
And Jared Butler on the bench for Baylor with the 3 fouls. Ten to shoot. Mason to Vital. Bandu hits from the outside. It's a 2-point game.
And that's what you have to do against that zone. You've got to change sides of the floor and give Mason credit. He got that skip pass to Bandu, and then Bandu got into the gap, created some space and opportunity with the step back.
Culver over Mason. Too strong. It belongs to Baylor.
Culver a little frustrated down in the low post area, not making his shots or getting that opportunity in Bandu. That's good creativity on the wing.
What we've seen from Baylor in conference play, it seems like it's somebody different every night. Gillespie had a big game against Iowa State. Bandu, 13 off the bench today. Vital's got 14 points and 13 rebounds. Mason, he needs to see it go in. 0 for 5 now. Haley, no look to McCabe, who resets. McCabe for 3. Haley tracks down the rebound.
Well, West Virginia came ready today. They've got the Jets on. They've seemingly beating Baylor to the loose balls.
Culver hits from 15.
It's the first clean look Culver's been able to find in a while, and that was right at the foul line area. That's not normally where he likes to set up, but Baylor's doing a good job of crowding him around the box.
With all the fouls in this game, you would have thought Culver would have been at the free throw line the most. Hasn't been the case. McCabe the 3. And it's a 7-point lead once again.
Quick shots by Baylor has led West Virginia to get some runouts and open looks in transition, and Scott Drew sees that, and he's seen enough.
A timeout by Scott Drew. West Virginia not going away. Baylor took a big step forward with a win against Iowa State on Tuesday, but this would be a bad loss, and it would send Baylor tumbling toward the bubble.
It would, but they still have a lot of opportunity in front of them, and I think still got a lot of opportunity in front of them today as well. But again, West Virginia gaining confidence on the defensive end by the minute, just playing with a lot of toughness, and that time good pass from Kegler.
Gillespie will go to the free throw line. The foul on Gordon, his 3rd. Robinson, Virginia Tech playing without its star point guard. They're hoping to get him back soon. And then the late game, Wisconsin and Indiana from Assembly Hall. Freddie Gillespie at the line for Baylor. His first career double-double last time out against Iowa State. He is from St. Paul, Minnesota. Had a lot of friends and family make the drive from Minnesota to Ames to watch him play. He rewarded them with the best game of his Baylor career.
Certainly that was a tap-to-buzzer thriller for Baylor, but right now they're trying to change the pace of this game, extending that zone, a little trap. Bob Huggins wanted a foul.
And I don't blame Huggins. The way this game has been called, that sort of contact has been whistled a foul.
Many times they called Butler for just a little tap on the wrist to begin this half, and that was a body-to-body blow in that trap.
As a coach, that's what bothers you, right? Call it consistently.
Well, it happens. Sometimes you spring a trap on somebody and officials aren't really in position, but they're in position there, and again, West gets the call in the corner.
Second time today, West has been fouled on a three-point shot. This one on the freshman Meyer. And West Virginia with a chance to extend its lead again.
One thing about West, he's got that long reach, and you see his arms, but he elevates quickly from that corner spot, but he kicks his legs out. You've got to be aware of that as a defender, because sometimes he'll draw the contact and make it look like a foul when it really isn't.
West has played in every game this year for the Mountaineers, despite a knee injury early. Last year, he played through 3-foot torn thumb ligaments all season. Didn't tell anybody until after the year.
Well, what's been important, obviously, is the one veteran presence out there, the junior who's been through it all. Big part of that Sweet 16 team last year, and played with a lot of toughness today. He's gone inside as well, posted up.
He's got 16. Meyer, freshman out of Austin, Texas. Shows Baylor over the Longhorns. From the corner. Comes back to Butler. And there with the 3 fouls. Butler for 3. Good.
Good job by Butler. I thought he was going to force the issue, try to pitch it inside to Gillespie. Good decision, just backed it up. West Virginia didn't close it out.
Culver around Gillespie. And Culver draws the foul. In a game against Texas Tech in Lubbock earlier this year, Culver got to the free throw line 24 times.
He just does a good job, because you see the ability as a big just to put the ball on the floor. He's a pretty decent passer. He's forced it a couple times today, but he's a willing passer. And so if you send that double at him, he's trying to find that open guy on the perimeter. So he's getting that one-on-one coverage in the middle of the zone. He's catching it right at the foul line. Baylor's got to do a better job of denying him, forcing him up just a couple steps off the free throw line.
What's scary for the rest of this league, you're talking to Bob Huggins, they feel Culver hasn't even figured it out yet. They said he's not close to reaching his full potential. They had to throw him in the mix, suspended the first 10 games of the year, didn't practice with the team. As Bandu hits from the outside. 1-point game.
Again, West Virginia, this is similar to what happened in the second half of down the stretch against K-State. Bob Huggins recognized it. Defensive errors, and that's just a major error, leaving Bandu wide open on the wing after one pass.
Squad went toe-to-toe with K-State. And then it was right around this juncture. Kansas State started landing some haymakers. The Mountaineers couldn't recover.
42 all, and K-State just started rolling on the offensive end. Bob Huggins gave them credit, but he said, really, we made too many defensive mistakes, and that's why he called that timeout there, because Bandu, after one pass, was wide open on the wing, a miscommunication.
West from the corner. Culver had the rebound, and then the foul down low. He is tenacious on the offensive glass.
You better put a body on him. No one's blocking him out. That's the problem. And see, he's unimpeded there, and Butler just reaches in, and that's 4 fouls on him, and that's not a good, smart play by Butler. He's just got to back away. He's too important for this team.
Butler has picked up all 4 of his fouls in the first 10 minutes of this second half. He exits, Mason back in. Baylor can tie it with a 2, take the lead with a 3. The Bears have led for less than 2 minutes today. Meyer over to Kegler. Meyer for the lead. And Baylor's on top.
That was a good job by Mario Kegler just to kind of probe the defense. He went in, he went out, he took his time. And Meyer, perpetual motion, moving without the basketball, the catch, the lock and load.
Inside to Culver, drops it off for West. And Thamba is fouled.
Bob Huggins not happy with Logan Rout, just kind of standing around on the inside, just a careless foul. Just the other team gets the ball, you just got to run back down court and play defense. And West Virginia now losing a little bit of their way.
3 on Rout. This crowd has woken up from hibernation. Kegler trying to spin around Culver, who stays with him. Haley, those long arms coming our way. Saved it to West. Numbers for West Virginia. Culver. And he was held.
Basketball off the bounce.
While Culver does get to the free throw line a lot, only a 57% free throw shooter. Myers got 3, so he joins the foul trouble brigade. Thamba, Meyer, and Gillespie all with 3. 4 for Butler for West Virginia. Culver's got 3, along with West and Rout. Gordon also has 3.
Baylor's done a better job the last 2 possessions. Get some movement without the basketball, some good spacing throughout the shot clock, trying to free up Mason.
Mason still without a field goal. 0 for 6. McCabe to West over Meyer. Off the side of the backboard.
That time West did his little jump up and kick his legs into the defender, but Meyer did a pretty good job of avoiding it, and the referees did not buy it on that possession.
Haley picks up his 3rd foul.
Glad you're keeping track of this and not me, because this is.
I was told there would be no math.
This is maddening.
37 fouls called in this game. 36 made baskets in this game. Thamba. He picked up 3 fouls in the first half. 4 to shoot. Kegler. Pass tipped. Thamba. Guess what? A foul.
Drive it to the rim. You're going to get the call. And good job by Kegler again. Spacing, finding the open man at the rim.
Rout picks up his 4th. Tied it. Rout just picked up his 4th for West Virginia. Remember, the Mountaineers down to 8 scholarship players, 4 of whom are freshmen right now.
Well, we said it before, and again, you want to adjust your defense if you can, but you have to stay aggressive. But more importantly, I think both coaches adjust your offense. Try to get the ball to the rim, get it down low, try to space the court, reverse it, and drive it to the rim, and you're going to get the call.
1 out of 2 for Thamba. Freshman from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Thamba on the back line of that zone with that 7'5" wingspan. Bandu plays off of Haley. McCabe. 6 to shoot.
West on the baseline, but they're not allowing him any open looks.
McCabe falling away. It's good. West Virginia the lead.
Or has he improved with confidence and the ability to recognize the clock, create space off the bounce with the fadeaway.
14 points for Jordan McCabe. Mason still without a field goal. Meyer tracks it down. Had a big three earlier in the half. And we get a whistle down low. A foul. A push on the back.
Well, Jordan McCabe, again, the confidence, the ability to take the ball at the defender, and then at the end of the clock, create the space. Meyer coming out of the game, that was just a quick shot after the offensive rebound. They had a reset on the shot clock, and he just took the ball one-on-one and kind of forced it on the baseline.
4 fouls now on Thamba. Mountaineers in the bonus, so 1-1 for Gordon. Jordan McCabe having the best game of his season today, best game of his young West Virginia career. 14 points, a career high. Bandu's got 16. Here's Kegler. He hit for a career high 18 when they played last month. And an offensive foul on Mario Kegler, his third.
It's just not a smart play by Kegler. And, he's just dribbling around out on the top of the perimeter. Everybody's standing still, and he gets dribble, dribble, dribble. He's backing up, dribble again. It's like he's playing one-on-one in the driveway, and it's good play by West.
That's a good call. He used that offhand to clear out.
It's bad offense. Without the point guards in the game that time, Butler's got to, you're going to get the ball to Butler, let him run the show, and Kegler will feed off that.
It belongs to West Virginia. Tim, when that ball goes off the rim, it's like a gladiator scrum in this game. 2 of the best rebounding teams in the conference.
Mario Kegler thought it went off West Virginia, but as you said, the bodies are bouncing around in there. It's difficult to call. At least they didn't call a foul.
Culver reaches up to catch the inbound. And a foul on Culver using the offhand that time, and that is his 4th. This may come down to last man standing.
Well, Culver, that's just not his game. He's trying to dribble drive from the top of the key to get to the rim, and he's an aggressive player, but he's still trying to understand where he can find his way out there on the court. That's a little bit too far out to put the ball on the floor.
You read that correctly. 37 field goals, 41 fouls. Butler. Baylor with a 1-point lead, 6 minutes to go. Butler in the game with 4 fouls.
Oh, he's just got to stay out on the floor, not foul, because he's so important down the stretch. He's got ice water in his veins. He has that ability to create and get in the lane and shoot that teardrop.
Let's see if McCabe goes at Butler. Now picked up by Bandu. Career afternoon for Jordan McCabe. Haley, 5 to shoot. Drops it off down low for Gordon.
Well, that was a good play by Haley. I was about to say West Virginia's waiting way too long to attack this zone, but they were patient. And at the end of the clock, Haley did a good job of creating space and finding Gordon.
Now do you go right at Culver here?
Well, you do, but you want to still keep running your offense, and that's not a good shot by Butler.
Up ahead to West. Shot fake. Nearly lost it. Stolen away by Butler. Numbers for Baylor. And Bandu finishes.
That's what you have to be aware of, those pesky guards for Baylor. They've always got their hands involved in the play, and try to put your head down against the zone, and you can make a quick mistake, and Baylor will turn it into an easy basket.
A foul down low on Gillespie. 3 on Freddie Gillespie.
Scott Drew pointing to his head, saying, use your head, Freddie Gillespie. There's no reason in the world to foul Andrew Gordon there. He's running away from the basket. It's a guy that averages 2 points a game, and you foul him 15 feet from the basket.
Excuse me, that is 4 now on Gillespie. Butler, Gillespie, and Thamba all with 4. This may come down to a free throw shooting contest. West Virginia, 18 out of 29 from the stripe. Baylor 16 out of 22. Neither is a great free throw shooting team. A route into the game for Culver for the Mountaineers. Butler over to Kegler. Over West, and that's good, and Baylor retakes the lead, 65-64.
Well, better offense that time by Baylor. Kegler, not a lot of wasted motion, just made a quick move, quick decision.
Gordon down low, and if that's on Gillespie, he's done. Freddie Gillespie, after the best game of his career Tuesday against Iowa State, is fouled out.
Well, again, you got to play your defense early, and that's what happened. Freddie Gillespie just let Gordon catch the ball in a sweet spot down on the baseline, and Gordon that time showed his athleticism, just took one big bounce and leaped to get to the rim and got an angle and the foul.
Flo Thamba back in for Gillespie. Thamba's got 4 fouls. And Gordon, 3 of 5 from the line today, with a chance to give West Virginia the lead.
Well, Thamba can hold his own defensively, but he's not as good offensively as Gillespie is. And you know, Andrew Gordon's having a breakout game for West Virginia. He's kind of a guy that's hasn't played much this year, but you can see he is athletic.
He's 5 for 7 from the line today, 6 for 15 on the season entering the game. Gordon's got a season high 9. Vital, he's been a force. And he's fouled by Gordon. That is 4 on the sophomore. We're going down to the wire in Wake. Hasn't played since December. Issa Ahmad, Wesley Harris kicked off the team earlier this month. They're fighting with 8 scholarship players and 4 freshmen. Came
with the toughness of their coach this afternoon. They came ready to roll, and they've executed on the offensive end of the floor. They've gone inside to Culver. McCabe has been outstanding, as has Haley, and Lamont West has shown leadership, and defensively, rock solid. But Baylor's starting to go to the well right around the rim. West Virginia has to be aware they've got to deny Vital around the box.
15 points, 13 rebounds for Mark Vital, the 6'5 sophomore. Tied at 66. McCabe, less than 10 to shoot. Gordon, he'll fire from 15. And the soft touch for Andrew Gordon. He's got 11.
Who is that man? Go to the well with Gordon on the baseline, now at the free throw line.
Gordon and McCabe playing their best ball of the season. Butler throws it up. Who else? Vital. Gordon comes away with it, and they get Vital on the foul.
Oh, I thought Vital got fouled on the rebound. It was a lot of contact, and then frustration loomed for Vital on the miss. He fouled Gordon.
Only the first foul on Vital. And Gordon back to the free throw line. 5 for 7 today. He had only attempted 15 free throws and had made just 6 all season prior to this game.
Well, good job, though, by West Virginia. Even though it may have been a foul, but the presence of Gordon and Rout and West around the basket, their length and size bothered Vital as he tried to finish that shot around the rim.
Flo Thamba exits, Mason in. Small lineup on the floor for Baylor. For the Mountaineers, McCabe, Haley, Gordon at the line along with Rout and West. Culver parked on the bench with 4 fouls.
Well, they're going with their offensive group right now and try to space the court, go inside to Vital and see if he can create maybe that second defender and find Butler on the perimeter for an open 3.
Butler against West. Butler for 3. Deflected out, Bandu. And Devontae Bandu's got 20.
Relentless on the glass. Baylor keeping it alive.
Route down court. Kicks it out to McCabe. Over to West for three. Rebound, Bandu.
You can't ask for anything more if you're Bob Huggins. Route did a good job. He ran the floor, took his time, and they reversed it and found an open West.
Kegler gives Baylor the lead.
West Virginia can't panic. They've got a big size advantage, and you got Culver at the table. I wonder if Bob will call a timeout to get him in the game, because this is a huge possession. He's going to do just that.
Timeout, West Virginia, one left for Bob Huggins. Baylor with a 70, fighting through a toe injury. He's just 7 for his last 46 from the field.
There's no doubt Bob Huggins is going to go right into Culver, right at the free throw line area, but I don't know what happened there, but Harlow just flashed into the middle of the floor. I do know what happened. West Virginia came out of the timeout with 6 players on the court.
Wow. Count them. And that's a technical foul.
I guess Gordon should have been out. Gordon tried to sneak off after the technical, but it was too late, and you've seen everything today, my friend Anish.
For a young team trying to scrap and grind. What a bad break, but you can't have 6 guys on the floor. Bandu, a 93% free throw shooter, misses. Count him up, Tim.
Well, we've seen 12 on the field at times in football. That can happen with special teams, but I have not seen that in a while. But Bob's upset, but listen, we'll put it behind him, and they've got to just get back to business right now, because they've played.
So they don't change the clock. 2:01 to go, 30 on the shot clock. West Virginia can tie it with a 2, take the lead with a 3. West over Kegler. Mason tracks down the rebound.
Oh, right idea, though. West posted up, but he just kind of faded away. He didn't use his length or strength to get to the rim or draw the foul. He kind of just short-armed it at the rim. Trying to space the court, a little 2-man game.
Butler with 5 against Harler. The basket +1.
Well, they spaced the court. I thought they were going to go with a little 2-man game, but Vital never came up to set the screen. He didn't have to, because Butler saw that lane right down the right side of the floor, found the angle, and the foul.
Baylor with its biggest lead of the afternoon, 75-70.
We need to go inside to Culver. He hasn't touched it in a long time. He's guarded by Vital. They're going to go to hit post up to Culver.
5-inch height advantage. And they get the offensive foul on Culver. He is done. And Culver in stunned disbelief.
Well, when you are guarded by Mark Vital, and he lets you catch the ball down the post, you better be aware that if you turn, that big number 11 is going to take that right in the chest. Good call.
Mark Vital has had a sensational game. He's been setting screens, taking charges, 15 points, 14 rebounds to boot.
The little plays, the winning plays that aren't in the box score. 5-second call.
Well, Baylor's saying they got the timeout.
Well, first of all, the timeout cannot be granted if the referee gets to the 4 count, and that's what Paul Jansen is saying.
So we've seen a couple of mental errors. 6 men on the court for West Virginia. Baylor unable to inbound it.
Well, Baylor has to be aware of Lamont West spotting up for that 3 in the corner.
Haley off the back rim. Bandu the rebound. Trapped in the backcourt. Out of the ambush, and Bandu fouled. He's not the guy you want to foul. He missed one earlier today. Coming in, though, 27 out of 29.
Well, Baylor has made the little plays down the stretch. West Virginia, give them all the credit in the world. Toe-to-toe with a really good Baylor team coming off an impressive road win. But down the stretch, the guard play and Mark Vital making the winning plays, the little plays for Baylor.
Can't take a day off in this conference. West Virginia is a team, you look at the record and all the players that are missing, you figured at home you can show up and win. No.
Not when the man on the other sideline has 800-plus wins. He can figure it out. And just his toughness was present today with his team.
West Virginia led 70-66. 10 unanswered for Baylor. Still a 2-possession game. And that's Dooms, Trey Dooms, the freshman, who had his red shirt pulled 3 games into conference play. A quick basket, 76-72. Mason nearly lost it. Butler ahead to Kegler. And now Harler commits the foul to send Kegler, a 60% free throw shooter, to the line.
A good job by West Virginia. They really forced the issue there, and Baylor struggled. They never got totally organized against the pressure, but they were spaced out, and they've got good ball handlers, and they finally found Kegler.
Kegler right on his average, 3 of 5 from the stripe today. Mississippi State transfer. 17 points, 1 shy of a career high, which he set against West Virginia last month. In the first meeting between these two, Baylor only 16 of 31 from the line, 21 of 30 today. New career high for Kegler. He's got 19. Baylor by 6. And a timeout.